Marketing Strategy for Authors. Written by Tao Wong. Narrated by Shannon Thompson. Afterword. This work is my basic attempt at providing context to an author trying to navigate their career and developing their author brand. As mentioned at the start, much of marketing theory is, in my view, not a step-by-step guide, but a framework of thought. Use that framework to help guide your thinking, develop goals, and return to your marketing plan regularly to update as both the external environment and your own career changes. Understand that being an author can be a long-term career, one that requires a significant amount of time to establish and prosper within. However, changes in the publishing system, in the development of technology, has made it possible for a larger number of authors than ever. Technology and distribution methods for authors continue to expand. Opportunities continue to expand and, in some cases, close out. At the same time, there are numerous individuals and corporations attempting to prey upon new authors with predatory contracts, always get a lawyer to read over your contract before signing, and workshops that provide little additional information. However, the truth is that success in publishing is as much a factor of persistence as it is luck. Not every book, not every series will be a success. It will take multiple books and series before you find a genre and an audience that will work for you. Even as an established author, I have released books that are flops, fewer than 1,000 sales after the first month. Persistence, luck, and willingness to continually learn will aid in you progressing your career. A marketing strategy will help decrease the weighting that luck will have on your career, but it can and will always be a factor. Lastly, while I have said this before, I want to reiterate. While this work is based upon marketing strategy development, as an author, as an artist, your ultimate level of success will depend upon your work. The product, how well written it is, will dictate if you manage to make fans. While work that is not well written can sell, a minimum level of quality is required for an ongoing career. If you've enjoyed what you've read, if you want more details, do note that I have an ongoing, weekly post on my site about the business aspects of writing. This includes ruminations about previous years, examples of sales and marketing tactics tested, often with numbers generated from my own books, and more. Feel free to browse it for free at mylifemytao.com or to visit my Patreon, where posts appear in advance. Further reading. In this section, I have compiled a list of helpful resources which cover both generic business topics and topics that are specific to publishing. Before you read this, though, realize that I have a general business degree and a marketing degree. I also ran a business for 12 years. I have read a lot of books, many of whom were just meh to me, because they reiterated what I knew with a nugget of information inside. While others that are good, for example, Blue Ocean Strategy, are less useful for authors. I built my business scaffolding over 2 decades, so this list is by no means exhaustive. I sometimes can't see the water I swim in. That being said, this list should give you an excellent start. Business resources. If you are running a business and looking to expand, the E-Myth Revisited by Michael E. Gerber is very helpful. The Harvard Business Review book for new managers will help you learn the basics of business, leadership, and how to read a financial statement. Contracts and Scams. Closing the Deal on Your Terms by Christine Catherine Rush has to do with deal breakers in contracts that crop up. It's a very good primer on things to watch out for. The Writers Beware blog provides information on up-to-date scams. Always check here before you do a deal with a publisher. Also, ask around, but check here first. The Writers Beware website contains common schemes and scams, as well as generic information to read and understand. Copyright. The Copyright Handbook, What Every Writer Needs to Know, by Stephen Fishman. Read it. Understand it. Use it. The Writer Got Screwed, but Didn't Have to Be, by Brooke A. Wharton, is very screenwriting or Hollywood-focused. Also, I found it very basic. But if you're just starting out, this can be quite useful as it is an easier read than above, covers some copyright stuff and contract things. It is dated, so read with care. Advertising, generic. Hey Whipple, Squeeze This by Luke Sullivan is about ads, but guess what? Your cover is an ad. Read this to understand the basics of what a good ad is and the kind of things you need to think about. The Copywriter's Handbook by Robert W. Bly focuses on how to write copy, like for your blurbs. You should combine the above copywriting book with one geared towards online copywriting. Check around for online sites via Google. The above book has some information, but I found the online sites, especially those with how-to guides for long one-page copy, are better. Sadly, I don't have those resources bookmarked anymore. Author advertising, specific. Help! My Facebook Ads Suck by Michael Cooper and Mal Cooper is a great beginner work. It's cheap, easy to read, and if you have used Facebook ads before, probably nothing new, but some interesting tips and great for beginners. Newsletter Ninja by Tammy L. Lebrecht. AMS, Amazon Marketing Services, Mark Dawson's course is super popular. I haven't done it, so I can't personally recommend it, but there's probably a good reason he's so popular. Felicia Beasley has a course which I've taken. I've listened to her speak, and she's good, but the course is expensive. Authors with book series I think you should read. Successful Indie Author by Craig Martell is a great series if you're starting out. I particularly got a lot of use from his discussion on collaborations because I never had to deal with that previously. Other stuff, like pricing, was less useful, but I run my own tests. Generally worth reading. The 3-year, no bestseller plan for making a sustainable living from your fiction by Patty Jensen. Patty writes and distributes wide. Because of that, her viewpoint is different. If you're going wide, it's worth reading over. WMG Writer's Guide series are books written by Christine Catherine Rush and Dean Wesley Smith. Most of the content in these books is available for free on both of their respective websites, but the books are more complex in form. I recommend reading both sites for ongoing information. Generic author sites and groups. K-Boards. The Writers' Cafe, a subforum in K-Boards, used to be more useful, but lots of answers to questions, editors, proofers, cover artists offering services, etc. 20 Books to 50K group. Probably the best and most informative group. There are regularly posts with great information. Just temper your expectations when you see successes. Sometimes you won't be part of those. Also, consider if the recommendations work for you. As they say, there are multiple paths up the mountain. Choose yours and use what you can. Wide for the Win Facebook group. If you're going wide, this is the group to join. There is so much information with actual details and people reporting back on results. 6-Figure Authors. More podcast than site, but well worth checking in on. Chris writes. Kristen Catherine Rush's business blog has been going on for years and has a ton of great information. Understand that she and Dean Wesley Smith have very clear and strong beliefs, some I disagree with, but realize they are also authors who have been writing for over 30 years, full-time, so there is legitimate success. both awards and in long-spanning full-time career here. Chris Fox's videos on writing. The Creative Pen, Joanna Penn's Writing Business Resources. About the author. Tao Wong is an avid fantasy and sci-fi reader who spends his time working and writing in the north of Canada. He spent way too many years doing martial arts of many forms and, having broken himself too often, now spends his time writing about fantasy worlds. He used to run one of the largest game stores in Canada, worked as the marketing manager for a number of companies, and now spends his time writing. If you'd like to support Tao directly, he has a Patreon page where previews of all his new books can be found. For updates on the series and the author's other books, and special one-shot stories, please visit his website, www.mylifemytao.com. Subscribers to Tao's mailing list will receive exclusive access to short stories in the 𝗠𝗿𝗄𝗃 and System Apocalypse universes, www.subscribepage.com/Tao Wong, or visit his Facebook page, www.facebook.com/TaoWongAuthor/. About the publisher. Starlit Publishing is wholly owned and operated by Tao Wong. It is a science fiction and fantasy publisher focused on the lit RPG and cultivation genres. Their focus is on promoting new, upcoming authors in the genre whose writing challenges the existing stereotypes while giving a rip-roaring good read. For more information on Starlit Publishing, visit our website. You can also join Starlit Publishing's mailing list to learn of new, exciting authors and book releases. This has been Marketing Strategy for Authors, written by Tao Wong, narrated by Shannon Thompson. Copyright 2020 by Tao Wong. Production copyright by Starlit Publishing.